What is good, Osiris? Here, stuck in the middle. I am back again on this National School Boards Association's request to the Biden administration. This time, what's happened is the AP fact checkers has gotten involved. And I think this is a good thing to fact check, but they're objectively wrong with their fact check. And there are some gray areas. So what did they do? They said, so the AP fact checker said, contrary to false claims circulating online, the National School Boards Association didn't ask President Joe Biden to label protesting parents domestic terrorists. And there's no indication Biden or the Justice Department called them terrorists either. The part I want to focus on is the National School Boards Association, their letter, because that's where it all starts. In their letter, I quote from the National School Boards Association, as these acts of malice, violence, and threats against public school officials have increased, the classification of these heinous actions could be the equivalent to a form of domestic terrorism. There's gray area. You absolutely have the right to claim that those terms are trying to label protesting parents as domestic terrorists. This is not a clean flat fact check. We don't know what those terms mean. These terms, intimidation, violence, harassment, malice, threats, are intentionally vague. What defines these things? If the AP had gone to the president of the National School Boards Association to narrow down and define these things, and then came out with an article that said, here's some specifics. Here is what good, honest feedback or protests are, and here's where it crosses the line. That would be helpful for all of us. So people, of course, they don't want to do that. But if the AP had done that and then came out with an article that said, here's where the line is, that would have been something productive. This right here is propaganda and complete nonsense. I agree. The National School Boards Association didn't ask President Joe Biden to label protesting parents domestic terrorists. But they did label clearly some parents would fall under one of those terms. And we don't know what the definition is. Josh Hawley grilled Deputy Attorney General Lisa Monaco specifically on that topic, because if we were having a good faith investigation from the DOJ, FBI, and good faith, we want to proceed forward protecting the First Amendment, but also protecting school board members, nobody would have a problem with that. The good faith piece would be, here's where the line is crossed. He asked her that. She couldn't answer it, or refused to answer it, didn't answer it.
Is that in and of itself, is that harassment and intimidation? Is waiting to express one's view at a school board meeting harassment and intimidation?
As the Attorney General's memorandum made quite clear, spirited debate is welcome, is a hallmark of this country. It's something we all should engage in. And
no, I don't think so, Ms. Monaco. With all due respect, it didn't make it quite clear. It doesn't define those terms, nor does it define harassment or intimidation. It talks about violence. I think we can agree that violence shouldn't be condoned or looked aside from in any way, swept under the rug at all. But harassment and intimidation, what did those terms mean in the context of a local school board meeting?
It's intentionally vague because they want to be able to play games with these definitions. And Josh Hawley described it perfectly. It's like taking your free speech rights and chilling them on ice.
In the First Amendment context, we talk about the chill to speech. If this isn't a deliberate attempt to chill parents from showing up at school board meetings for their elected school boards, I don't know what is. I mean, I'm not aware of anything like this in American history. We're talking about the FBI. You're using the FBI to intervene in school board meetings. That's extraordinary.
Because if I'm a parent and I'm like, oh, I don't really want beef with the FBI, or I don't want the limelight like that. I don't want to put myself out there, I just won't speak today. They didn't say you couldn't speak. They just scared you not to by not defining the terms. Like, what is the playing field? What are the rules? Because when you go up there was one clip I played in another video. A woman was reading a book that was a crazy book that was too salacious for school, but it was in school and she was reading it. And a school board member said, "Stop, don't read that because there's children in the building." And the woman was like, "Don't you dare interrupt me and take up my time." Is that intimidation? Is that a threat? What if you say, "I want to fight for my rights. I don't want this in the school. I don't want this mask, or I don't want critical race theory"? What if you say that? Is that a threat as well? We don't know. I'm going to end with this. The only 2 no votes when Lisa Monaco is a very important figure. I believe Tucker Carlson even brought her up as potentially running the Department of Justice. There are only 2 no votes from Republicans. We know why Democrats voted for her. There's only 2 no votes from Republicans. Senator Ted Cruz and Rand Paul. Do not think that the GOP is some savior. Let me know what you think. Take care.